Functional medicine practitioner Claudine Francois. I empower women entrepreneurs by sharing solutions for health on my show, Healthy Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine. Hello, and welcome to Healthy Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine. Thank you so much for being here. Today's show topic is how to master your inner game with content creator Joey Garrity. I'm so excited to bring her up. Now, many of you know that I am a functional medicine practitioner, and if you are experiencing health issues and finding no answers despite numerous tests, I am here to help. Women have been gaining invaluable insights from the free lab review sessions I'm currently providing for a limited time. I can decode those lab results and empower you to take meaningful action. So access the link in the scroll, or you can grab it in the comments so that your journey to better health can start now. And let's get to today's show. Today's guest is Joey Garrity. Joey offers media opportunities with the Superstar Women Entrepreneurs Media Network, the live stream destination by and for women entrepreneurs. The media network is unique. Each live stream and podcast content creator is a woman entrepreneur who is an expert in her field and provides superstar solutions in business, health, marketing, wellness, publishing, wealth, and influence. The media network has been picked up by a Los Angeles-based agency, Electrocast Media. So I am super excited to bring up Ms. Joey Garrity. Joey, welcome.
Hi, thank you, Claudine, for having me.
I am so excited to have you here. And I'm going to start by asking the first question I ask all my guests, which is, what does a healthy, delicious lifestyle mean to you?
It means having a really strong inner game. So for years, I had no idea that the inner game actually was impacting my outer game. I really didn't. And I had to learn the hard way, right? And then one day I picked up an inner game, and it has impacted my personal, my professional life in the most glorious ways.
That is so fabulous. And that really dives well into your first tip, which is having a strong inner game is directly linked to standing in your spotlight daily and sharing your gifts and talents with the world. So, give us a brief overview. Like, how does your inner game impact your outer game? What does that do for you?
Sure. So we need courage. Listen, we live in a very wonky world, right? And we are learning life lessons probably every hour, right? And it can be scary. Fear can pop up a lot. Insecurity for me is one of my kryptonites. And so by setting myself up for success with the daily habits, I do the Love Capacity Daily Habits every morning. By doing that, it's that I'm getting closer to the divine immediately, and I'm quieting down those voices, because our dreams at night usually aren't positive necessarily. And so when we wake up, we can feel very like uneasy, anxious sometimes. And this is a way that we can quiet it down by incorporating the inner game tools. And it only takes like 20-25 minutes in the morning. And I'm telling you, I've gotten way more of what I wanted since I've got a stronger, because it's a muscle. So I'm getting a stronger and stronger muscle with the inner game. I call it a capacity, love capacity. And you really want to grow it to Grand Canyon level.
That is such a healthy, delicious lifestyle moment. I absolutely love that. And it's so important because I don't think very many of us make that correlation of, if I want to get things out of life, I need to it's almost like setting up your psyche for the day, right? It's
Mhm.
like getting yourself psyched up, like, yes, this is going to be a great day. I'm going to do amazing things. It's like giving yourself a pep talk, but
Yes.
on a subconscious level. And I really want to bring up your book, Being Your Own Superstar: How to Expand Your Love Capacity, because it talks about how to do this, right?
Yes.
Some of us, and by the way, I love that it is not a 900-page book,
Right.
right? Because you're a bottom liner like me. You want to get to the point. You want to, like, give me the goods, give me what I need to get on my way and go, which is great because a lot of us don't have a ton of time, right?
Yes.
And you basically give us the blueprint for how to get the things that you want in life. And when I say that, I think some people might think, oh, that's being selfish. But I think it's just, what are we here to create? What are we here to do? And how can you bring more of that goodness into the world, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the book, I talk about the real reason I worked in Hollywood around the superstars, and I mean mega superstars for 20 plus years, and the real purpose of why I was down there. It took me leaving, and then years afterwards, I didn't know why I worked there. I knew it was incredibly glamorous. I know that I grew up a big community, and there's a lot of extension. Like I learned branding and marketing and things on a deeper level. However, when I was downloaded this book, it was because I was asking, what's my life purpose? What's this all about? And they identified you were supposed to observe superstars and how they're getting what they want, because we want everyone to get what they want. We want
Yes.
everyone to get what they want. It's not reserved just for the few, right? And to bring it to the masses. And what people will find very interesting is that the superstars, they just have a big, what I call love capacity. So fame and money and popularity, it's just love in a different form. That's all it is. And so having this aha moment around money and wealth and influence and all that is just love in a different form was like, it like literally was a tipping point in my life that changed my entire life personally and professionally in a very short period of time.
Oh, that's incredible. And I will say that for my clients, they want health, they want better health. And growing that love capacity enables you to feel that you are worthy of having that health. And
Yes,
and
sister.
subconsciously, it's actually creating subconsciously your mind is actually now looking for the things that can bring that health to you. So it's almost propelling you towards that and it's making it easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, we're not brought up in society to allow, accept, and receive. We're not. Okay. We're brought up to society to be doers, right? To give, right? On a whole, right? And so that muscle isn't always typically very strong, right? And so when I talk about the love capacity, it was just my way of explaining the tangible of we have an internal inner game muscle, and there's real tangibles in my book that was downloaded to me, steps of how to do this so you could grow the muscle. Because it's crazy what can happen, because I tell people all the time, they say, oh, I want $1 million. I said, do you have the capacity to allow, receive, and accept a million love notes right now? Like if someone just gave you a million love notes right this second, they're like, whoa, that's a lot of love. I said, money is just a different form of love. And so I want you to be able to one day say, yes, I could accept a million love notes. I do them on like little confetti coming down from the divine inside of a stadium. This is inside the book. I stand in the stadium and have a whole stadium cheering for you, right? Ask, be clear about what you want, and now push that to the side, and now just allow all the love to come down in terms of love notes, right?
Mhm.
And just fill you up with all this love. And as you do this, you are growing a stronger muscle. And so next time, there are been plenty of times in my lifetime and others out there where we didn't say yes to opportunities that came by because we weren't able to accept them. We weren't even able to see them. We weren't able to identify them. That's just like, right? But you will, the yeses will come faster. You'll be able to lean into it more, right? Because the muscle's stronger.
Yes, and this leads so perfectly into your next tip, which is that you can be your own formula to creating the world you desire because you've given us the formula in your book. Like, how do you do this? That visualization exercise is huge. And I will say that there was one point where, because you taught me how to do this,
Mhm.
right? And what I did was I started this, what was it, a year and a half ago, probably. I started visualizing. And at the time, I was feeling really a little bit down about where my business was and a little bit down about the fact that I had dragged my family into this financial situation because this isn't a story I tell very often, but when I started my business, my husband sold his baby, his
Mm,
Corvette. He had, he's a car guy. He had saved up all this money and he bought this Corvette and he sold it so that I could start my business. And
wow.
I started this, the 20-30 minute morning practice that you taught me. And I manifested him another car, right?
Ooh.
Like, it wasn't even it's funny because it technically you're thinking, "Well, that's not really for you, Claudine," but it is for me because I was feeling bad about his car. I wanted him to have this thing that he had worked so hard for. So he got a new car. So setting yourself up for success with 20 to 30 minutes each day, I think is key to getting what you want out of life. And I really don't, the way I explain it to people, because I don't know exactly how to explain it. Maybe you can explain it better. To me, it seems like it's a subconscious push in the right direction. Like once you give yourself the benefit of this time, a lot of us don't even give ourselves 5 minutes, let alone 20 minutes. But when you set yourself up with telling your subconscious mind, I am important, I come first, my health and well-being is the priority here, then that really sets up the stage for the whole day for you to continue to do things that are good for yourself, whether it's drinking your water, right? Whether it's giving yourself a timeout or a walk after lunch or a bubble bath or, doing something that you enjoy doing. I think it's subconsciously giving your brain permission to treat yourself the way you would want to be treated. What do you think it is?
Yeah, I think it quiets down the sabotage.
Mm,
Like the shame, the blame. Listen, we're just human. So there's going to be shame and blame and yuck in your capacity, and it's taking up capacity. That is why what was happening for me is I would hit the glass ceiling. Like I'd be going and things would be going really well, and then I'd hit the glass ceiling. That's because my capacity was only that big. And so I get really disappointed, right? And
mhm.
all of a sudden my house of cards would just come crashing down again. And now with the inner game, though, with the inner game daily habit system, right, around the love capacity, is that it's not that my cards come crashing down, but it's like my ceiling's higher,
Mm,
right? Because I have more capacity. That's what I'm saying. You want to grow at Grand Canyon level. Then I tell people all the time, I said, you won't have to want and wish and anymore. I said, things will just drop in organically, right?
mhm.
Because your capacity is so big. I mean, think about the stars, the superstars, right? They walk into a restaurant a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times they'll get the best table, right? They're not like, oh, no, 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 I don't want the best table, right? They're like, oh, thank you, right? And then sometimes even they'll pick up the check for them, the restaurant will, right? Because of the influence, right? Not all the time, but sometimes for sure, right? And it certainly happened when I was with them. And they weren't like, oh no, oh gosh, I got to pay this bill. They had the capacity to allow, receive, and accept the the
Mm.
gift, and to sit in that and not squirm and like, what is this person going to want for me? And all this. They can just be. It's really more about being at ease. It really is.
And I feel like when you are more at ease, when you're centered within yourself, you're attracting more of that goodness.
Oh, yeah.
And so the last tip, which is finding your joy will enable you to enjoy the process, has always been a challenging one for me because I'm usually not a process person. I'm like, where's my end goal? Get me to the end goal.
Yeah.
And slogging through the process, I found, is not the most effective way to get there. I have to find joy in what I'm doing. And if it's not joyful, do something else because
Mhm.
otherwise it's not going to show up well in my life. Right.
Yeah. I always tell my clients and network and stuff, a happy entrepreneur is a happy business, right? A miserable,
Right.
like you said, like sloshing through stuff because you should, or is an unhappy business, right? And instead being more at ease with the actual process, because it is a glorious gift that we get to spend another day, another hour, another minute here on earth. And
Mm.
I had to make peace with the end result because I'm a bottom liner like you. I had to make peace with the process. But the inner game work helps me do that. It helps me to be at ease during the day and be more in gratitude. But I'll tell you, there wasn't one day in my career that I ever connected the dots that love had anything to do with success. Not one day. You couldn't have told me that. Not 1 second.
Mm.
Right? I thought grinding it out, right? Really, throwing yourself on the fire, like really, being in it, right, was the way. I'm going to make an assumption some people listening to still think that, right?
Mhm.
And I'm not saying not to show up because this isn't magic. But what I am saying is when you can show up and you can allow, receive, and accept, and you've got a strong muscle, an inner game muscle to do that, the grinding becomes less of a grind and more of the joy of the journey.
Yes.
And that, sister, is why we're here.
And if anyone wants to do less of the grind and enjoy more of their journey and their health, I'm just going to give you a quick reminder that I have these free lab reviews. I'm only doing them from a little limited time. So be sure to grab the link. Joey, it was an absolute pleasure having you today. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us.
Thank you. I love you.
Likewise, I'm going to pop you in the green room, so hang out. Oh my goodness, was that not amazing? I am so happy you were able to hear that today. And I just want to remind you, how are you going to create a healthy, delicious lifestyle for you today? Until then, join me for another episode of Healthy, Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine next Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific or 11 a.m. Central, and have a healthy, delicious lifestyle. You can learn more about my services and products at ingoodcleantaste.com. Be sure to join me every week on the SWE Media Network YouTube channel and wherever you listen to podcasts.